where do I even begin? What an incredibly frustrating game that just felt like a combination of all the things that are specifically set to annoy me. You have the Indiana Fever losing to the Dallas Wings on their home court. The sorry, hapless Dallas Wings who came in to this game having won a grand total of 9 games. 9 for the season. I have more fingers than that. You have atrocious execution down the stretch for the last play of the game by Stephanie White, who literally just watches it happen and decides, at 1.7 seconds left, that's the time you should take your reset timeout to strategize, to put anything together, to come up with a play that puts Kelsey Mitchell in the least amount of space possible, which was the corner, the short corner there, and heaving something at the basket just after you make a miracle comeback. You were down 17 in the third quarter, when it all broke open, was a mirror of how the game started. The game started with Dallas looking much sharper. The game started with their players looking like they had the energy. Odyssey Sims, I don't know where she came from and what she was doing in the time where she was not in the league, but man, you guys don't know how good we had it with Ari McDonald coming off the street playing the way she did. Odyssey Sims, I don't know if we'll see her in a week at this rate. Paige Bueckers, let's talk about her. Hall of Fame, UConn, triple platinum whistle. Look at the 2 calls. The one with Sophie Cunningham in the first quarter, and then the one with Kelsey Mitchell. Now, if you want to say they both were landing space calls, fine, I'll give it to you. I don't think there was that much contact really on either of them. But if you're going to call one, call the other one too, because that happens. And then also the Aaliyah Boston and Lee Yuru tangle up thing where they just decide, yeah, you can get locked in like this armbar hold, Aaliyah Boston, and we're not going to call anything. Good luck. Best of luck with it for you. The Indiana Fever were in their own house getting hosed by calls. But this was not the referee's fault why they lost this. They sucked, but, the WNBA referees normally suck. The Fever put themselves in this position throughout the night. Just seeing Dallas on the other side, I can understand how you can be prone to a letdown game. This team is not good. But they played a game where they clearly got up for the Fever, but I can't say the Fever got up for them. This all culminates in a 1-point loss for the Fever on their home court, and props to them for fighting back. But man, you shouldn't have ever been in this situation in the first place. I was thinking about titles for this video like the Dallas Wings run the Indiana Fever out the gym, and that didn't end up happening by the end of the game, but this was just like so much, like as far as the frustration and like, if you are a Caitlin Clark fan and you watch the way that Paige Bueckers is refereed, you have no choice but to be frustrated. Like, you've sat and watched people call Caitlin Clark a flopper and all this stuff while these actual flagrant 1 calls are happening to her, but a stiff breeze is sending Paige Bueckers to the ground as she's trying to, foul bait and everything like that. Ugh. Drop the game to you let Chris Colclanes walk in there and coach the team to a dub. How do y'all feel about this, Indiana Fever? Stephanie White, you got to answer for this. You got to make sure that the players know when the sorry 8-24 Wings come in, it is not a night off. These are the games needed for playoff positioning. As it's coming down to the final month of the season, you're in that 5th spot. You want to try to go up while Seattle's in free fall so you can put the Aces behind you. You got to be better. You got to be better here. This was so frustrating to watch, and I'm normally much more reserved, but this was just a tale of everything. As Caitlin Clark sat there, missing her 20th game of the season, man, what a, like, from a standpoint of like, yo, I want to watch Caitlin Clark. I started watching all these Fever games because of Caitlin Clark. Man, I miss watching Caitlin Clark, and I think a lot of you do too. Whether you liked her, whether you don't like her, and I think I've done a good job cultivating, much more one more than the other, in this video community here. But I think even the detractors would admit there's a little bit something extra there when Caitlin's on the court. And it was frustrating watching her, knowing she would love nothing more, than to suit up and be out there battling with her teammates, pulling for the logo, having fun, entertaining everybody. But it just hasn't been the script for this year. And it really just kind of hit me during this game that it was like she missed, like she's going on missing half of her second season already. And it's sad. And the reaction to her and the brain worms that she has always caused. And this, just when you boil it down, this is an athlete that's injured with the weight of the world on her shoulder, the face of so many brands, the face of the league, the face of the Fever. And yet she has ended up, like many of us, watching the Indiana Fever and wondering where it goes wrong on nights like these. Ugh. I don't know what loss like bothered me more, the 35-point beatdown from the Mercury and you let DeWanna Bonner do it to you, or this 1-point game to the Dallas freaking Wings without Arike Ngubawale. JJ Quinterly was getting saucy. JJ Quinterly had a certain glide to her game. They called her for a carry once, which I didn't like, but she changed this game in the second half. Lee Uru, one of the rare centers that actually wants to get in there and be physical with Aaliyah Boston and will match the physicality of her, has a career night just sealing off and fighting through contact and hitting threes and nailing her free throws. The Fever closed on a 25-14 fourth quarter, just as they lost 25-13 in the third quarter. In that second quarter, they looked great. They closed it all off. We thought Chloe Bibby was going to basically spark the team. Big Red was just lights out from the three-point line, but did make two big turnovers that were, big swings of the game. That inbound, JJ Quinterly again. That was really like a little bit of air out of the balloon moment right there. Paige Bueckers, 16 points, 8 assists, 5 boards on 6 of 19 shooting. And pretty much a ghost in that fourth quarter, but the rest of the team kind of let her through with Myisha Hines-Allen, who the last game they played against the Dallas Wings, the Fever kind of had to fight them off at the end as they made a push, and Myisha Hines-Allen was a big part of that because she is somebody that just loves the contact, very competitive player, and she was in there. And Lee Uru were in the fourth quarter doing what they wanted. Maddie Siegrist goes lights out, 22 points. If you allow Maddie Siegrist to drop 22 points and let Lee Uru give you 20 points off the bench, I don't want to hear about the refs, screwing it up, even though they did. Stephanie White, you got to figure it out at the end of the game how to stop Maddie Siegrist and Lee Uru, and also notice that you have the brain power, you have the ability to do this, before 1.7 seconds are left on the clock. Tragic. And like the Wings weren't all that. They were trying to give it away. They were up by 17 and were like, you know what? We've actually done too much, everyone. We're going to give this back and we're going to allow the correct team to win. But the Fever couldn't go over the top with it. Kelsey Mitchell dropped 24 points. Sophie Cunningham, 14. Bunch of circus shots in the first half that were really impressive. Aaliyah Boston with 14. Natasha Howard had a double-double. I think they said it was like her 8th or 9th one of the season. She had 12 and 12. Lexi Hall back to the donut zone with 0. They said Chloe Bibby only had 11, but I swear she hit 4 3-pointers. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe she had a foot on the line or something. But Odyssey Sims, I don't know if she's getting called back. Michaela Timpson got a little bit of run in the first half and instantly was guarding and rebounding and then yanked. Demiris Dantas, I think I have come around to the Dantas is not good club, because Dantas, she's like Eddie House. If she's in and she gets the ball, it's going up under any circumstances. And she shot 1 of 6 tonight. And 12 minutes, it just doesn't, they don't have many better options there. Brianna Turner gets in the game, instantly gets fried by Paige Bueckers, yank her out. She did score, shockingly enough, though. And I would have to check on this, but this is a good question. The Dallas Wings have won 9 games. Does Brianna Turner have more than 9 points total this year? I would love to know. Let me know in the comment section. But goodness gracious, I'm pissed. I am pissed at this one. So where do they go from here? I guess we'll see. Let me know in the comment section what you thought of this game. And I'm going to watch these post-game interviews, and, I'll see if, I'll be back, kind of reacting to those or not. But, yeah, let me know what you thought. I'm up out of here. Peace. My name is Rich Latta. This is One Lifetime. Holla at y'all.